Remember when Las Vegas felt like magic? When $29 rooms really cost $29, when cocktail waitresses kept your glass full while you played penny slots, and when buffets stretched endlessly with more food than you could imagine. That Vegas existed, and millions, built lifelong memories there because Sin City delivered on its promises. But in 2025, more and more visitors are discovering that the city feels different. Rising costs, disappearing perks, and sweltering summers are cracking the image that once made Vegas irresistible. The question is this just another chapter in the city's boom and bust story, or the beginning of a lasting decline? Stick around as we count down the 10 biggest promises Las Vegas has broken, and the most shocking one at number 1. Number 10, cheap rooms became expensive traps. Vegas built its reputation on the promise of affordable luxury $39 rooms that let working families experience the glamour of the Strip. $59 weekends that made anniversary trips possible for teachers and mechanics. The rooms were the loss leader that brought people to gamble, eat, and see shows. That honest transaction has been replaced by systematic deception. Hotels still advertise those tantalizing low rates, but they're mirages designed to lure unsuspecting visitors into booking traps. A $79 room becomes $200 after mandatory resort fees, parking charges, and facility costs. As of mid-2025, Strip resort fees average between $48 and $55 per night. Self-parking at central properties ranges from $18 to $30 daily. On a $79 base rate, the real checkout total often lands between $165 and $205 before you've even unpacked. The advertised price is now meaningless. What Vegas markets as affordable luxury has become financial quicksand that traps families who budgeted for one amount but face bills that are triple their expectations. This isn't accidental pricing confusion. It's deliberate corporate strategy designed to extract maximum revenue from captive customers who cannot escape once they arrive. The psychological manipulation is deliberate and cruel. Families budget for Vegas based on advertised rates, then discover their accommodation costs have doubled before they've unpacked their bags. That financial shock creates defensive spending patterns that kill the spontaneous splurging Vegas depends on. Price comparison shopping becomes impossible when every property hides true costs behind different fee structures. The transparency that once made Vegas trustworthy has been replaced by bait and switch tactics that would embarrass used car salesmen. And if that wasn't enough of a shock, just wait until you see how even the so-called free perks have been rewritten to squeeze more out of visitors. Number 9, free drinks aren't really free anymore. Free cocktails while gambling wasn't just a Vegas perk, it was the Vegas promise that made everyone feel valued regardless of their betting level. Slide a $5 bill into any slot machine and servers would keep your glass full for hours. The drinks weren't premium, but they were genuinely complimentary. That democratic tradition has been systematically dismantled by corporate accountants who view hospitality as profit leakage. Free drinks now require minimum bets that price out casual players. $25 blackjack tables to qualify for cocktails. Slot machines demanding $2 per spin before servers acknowledge your existence. At several Strip casinos in summer 2025, servers only comp drinks at tables with $25 minimums or higher, while some video poker bars now require at least $20 coin in per hour before tickets print for cocktails. The transformation destroyed Vegas's most beloved tradition. What once symbolized unconditional hospitality now serves as a class system that separates worthy high rollers from unworthy casual players. Corporate executives killed the generous spirit that made everyone feel welcome, replacing democratic access with exclusionary policies that betray Vegas's founding promise of equal treatment under the neon lights. The elimination destroys the psychological environment that made Vegas gambling special. Free drinks created a sense of abundance and celebration that encouraged players to take chances and stay longer. Remove that hospitality, and gaming becomes a cold transaction where every loss stings more sharply. Casual gamblers notice the change immediately and vote with their feet. A $20 slot player who once enjoyed hours of entertainment with complimentary beverages now faces impossible choices. Bet amounts they can't afford, pay casino prices for drinks, or find entertainment elsewhere. But even when you meet those inflated requirements, the real disappointment is what comes next, the service itself. Number 8, buffets disappeared. The Vegas buffet represented everything magical about Sin City in one glorious dining experience: endless abundance, luxury accessible to everyone, the promise that ordinary people could feast like royalty for the price of a decent dinner back home. These weren't just restaurants, they were symbols of Vegas's democratic spirit. The pandemic provided the perfect excuse to eliminate these lost leaders permanently. Properties claimed health concerns made buffet service impossible, but the real motivation was profit margin optimization. Why offer unlimited food for $50 when guests will pay $80 for a single entree? The closures that seemed temporary became permanent corporate strategy disguised as public health measures. Executives discovered they could eliminate unprofitable dining experiences while forcing guests toward higher margin alternatives. The health crisis became a financial opportunity to restructure Vegas dining around maximum revenue extraction rather than customer satisfaction and authentic Vegas hospitality traditions. By mid-2025, only a handful of buffets remain. Caesars Palace's Bacchanal charges $79.99 on weekdays and $89.99 on weekends. The Wynn Buffet runs $74.99 to $84.99. These are a far cry from the $25 to $35 spreads that once symbolized Vegas abundance. But the loss extends far beyond dining options. Buffets were social equalizers where families from different backgrounds shared the same experience. Children who had never seen crab legs or prime rib could taste luxury alongside seasoned travelers. The replacement dining landscape segregates guests by income level, high-end restaurants for wealthy tourists, food courts for budget travelers. The middle ground where most families lived has been eliminated. You're either eating at celebrity chef establishments for $300 or grabbing fast food with nothing in between. High-end buffets like Bacchanal and Wynn still draw crowds, but at prices that make them special occasion splurges rather than everyday traditions. And if food once united everyone under the same neon glow, the new dining reality does the exact opposite. Number 7. Gambling odds. Got Worse Vegas was built on a simple promise. The games might favor the house, but at least they were honest about it. $5 blackjack tables welcomed everyone. Penny slots actually cost pennies. Video poker machines offered near even odds for skilled players. The house edge was transparent. That mathematical honesty has been systematically corrupted by corporate greed masquerading as game improvement. $5 blackjack tables have vanished, replaced by $25 minimums during peak hours. Weekend play often requires $50 to $100 bets just to get a seat. Corporate gaming departments discovered they could increase profits by making games mathematically unfair while maintaining the illusion of honest gambling. Rule changes that dramatically worsen player odds are implemented quietly without fanfare or explanation. The transparent house edges that built trust have been replaced by deceptive game variations that steal money through mathematical manipulation rather than honest probability. Worse than higher minimums, the games themselves have been rigged against players through rule changes that dramatically increase house advantages. As of 2025, the majority of strip blackjack tables pay 6 to 5 instead of 3 to 2, raising the house edge from about 0.5% to over 2%. Single zero roulette wheels disappear in favor of double zero and triple zero variations. Slot machines tell the same story of systematic player exploitation. Penny slots now require multiple lines and maximum coins to qualify for bonuses, turning 1-cent games into $5 spins. Progressive jackpots that once built on small bets now demand premium betting levels. Video poker, once the thinking gambler's game with near-even odds, has been gutted through pay table downgrades. Full-pay jacks or better machines that return 99.54% have been replaced by short-pay versions returning 95% or less. To be fair, skilled players can still find fairer rules in town or at off-strip locals casinos, but on the strip itself, the trend is unmistakable. And while those changes look bad enough on paper, the hidden math of modern slots and video poker makes the losses sting even more. Number 6. No more perks. Vegas once showered visitors with perks that made everyone feel like valued customers. Free parking at every casino, complimentary show tickets for modest play, room upgrades for loyalty club members, generous comps that turned gambling losses into dining credits. These aren't just amenities, they were investments in customer relationships. Those investments have been liquidated by executives who view comps as profit leakage rather than marketing expenses. Free parking disappeared behind $25 daily charges. Show comps now require gambling action that would bankrupt whole families. Room upgrades are reserved for high rollers or sold as premium services. The systematic elimination of perks represents corporate Vegas' fundamental misunderstanding of customer psychology. Executives focused on immediate revenue action while destroying the emotional connections that created lifelong loyalty. What once felt like genuine appreciation for customer business now feels like calculated manipulation designed to extract maximum money while maintaining member enrollment. Tier requirements have tripled, while reward values have been slashed. Gold status that once meant something now provides minimal benefits, barely distinguishable from basic membership. The elimination of perks destroys the emotional connections that sustained Vegas tourism through economic downturns. Visitors who once felt appreciated and valued now feel exploited and unwelcome. And if perks build lifelong loyalty, their disappearance set the stage for the next shock. Number 5. Entertainment became luxury. Vegas entertainment was once the world's greatest bargain. Elvis in his prime cost $50. Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack performed for audiences that included teachers and truck drivers alongside celebrities. These weren't just concerts, they were cultural events that ordinary families could afford to experience. That accessibility has, in 2025, entry-level tickets for major residencies like Adele or U2 begin at around $280 to processing charges, facility costs, and convenience fees can add another $100 per ticket. Entertainment pricing has become predatory rather than welcoming. Corporate executives discovered they could maximize revenue by excluding middle-class families while focusing on wealthy tourists who treat expensive tickets as disposable income. The democratization of world-class entertainment that made Vegas special has been replaced by economic segregation that destroys the community atmosphere that sustained legendary performances. The venue experience has deteriorated alongside price increases. Seats that once provided excellent views are now obstructed by production elements. Sound systems prioritize volume over clarity. Customer service has been outsourced to third-party vendors who lack authority to resolve problems. Headliner residencies represent the ultimate betrayal of Vegas entertainment values. Stars who once performed intimate shows for diverse audiences now play arena venues with corporate pricing structures. The connection between performer and audience has been severed by distance and economic barriers. Ticket price inflation is bad enough, but what happens inside the venues is even more telling. Number 4, locals are leaving. The soul of any city lives in its year-round residents, and Vegas is hemorrhaging the locals who gave it character. Casino dealers, cocktail servers, musicians, and small business owners who created the authentic Vegas vibe are being priced out by housing costs that have tripled while their wages stagnated. These weren't just service workers, they were the personalities that made Vegas special. The blackjack dealer who remembered your name, the bartender who knew your drink, the showroom hostess who treated everyone like family. These relationships took years to build and gave visitors reasons to return to specific properties. Housing costs alone tell the story of systematic displacement. By summer 2025, the median Las Vegas home price hovers near $485,000. Meanwhile, median wages for gaming dealers and servers remain around $42,000 to $55,000 annually, making ownership increasingly out of reach. The exodus accelerates as longtime residents realize their Vegas no longer exists. Neighborhoods they once called home have gentrified beyond recognition. Local hangouts have been replaced by chain restaurants. Community gathering places have been demolished for luxury developments. Younger locals face impossible choices, take on crushing debt to stay in their hometown, move to cheaper states and abandon their careers, or watch their quality of life decline as housing costs consume larger percentages of their income. Many choose relocation, taking their knowledge of authentic Vegas culture with them. And if the people who built the city can no longer afford to live there, what does that mean for the culture that made it legendary? Number 3, corporate Vegas took over. Independent casinos once gave Vegas its personality. The Stardust with its legendary sportsbook, the Sahara, where the Rat Pack held court, the Desert Inn, where Howard Hughes lived in penthouse isolation. Each property had a distinct character, unique architecture, and individual charm that reflected the vision of colorful owners. Family-owned dreams have been consumed by corporate consolidation that treats casinos like interchangeable properties and massive entertainment portfolios. MGM Resorts operates half the strip through properties that share identical operational standards, uniform employee training, and centralized decision-making. Corporate standardization has drained much of Vegas's creative spirit through systematic elimination of risk-taking and innovation. Independent operators who built their fortunes on bold visions and personal relationships were replaced by committee-driven executives who prioritize shareholder returns over customer experience. Bureaucracy that views authenticity as operational inefficiency requiring elimination. The physical transformation tells the story of Vegas's lost soul. Unique, architectural landmarks have been demolished to make room for generic towers that could exist in any entertainment district. The dunes, the sands, the hacienda, replaced by corporate monuments to shareholder value. Corporate management has systemized away the spontaneous generosity that made Vegas legendary. Comp decisions that once reflected individual discretion are now governed by algorithms that optimize revenue extraction. Customer service that once emphasized personal relationships has been standardized into scripted interactions. The entertainment programming reflects corporate version rather than Vegas innovation. Instead of discovering new acts or taking creative chances, properties import proven brands from other markets. The entrepreneurial spirit that created Vegas entertainment has been replaced by focus group tested content. And if management is standardized, the look and feel of the Strip has followed the same path, leading directly to the next loss. Number 2. The magic of the Strip faded. The Strip once felt like stepping into a fever dream where anything was possible. Neon signs told stories in light and color. Each casino transported visitors to different worlds through elaborate theming that made every block feel like an adventure. The visual spectacle changed constantly as properties competed to create memorable experiences. That magical chaos has been replaced by corporate uniformity that prioritizes brand consistency over creative expression. LED screens have replaced neon craftsmanship, turning iconic signage into digital billboards that change advertisements like Hi Ai Weiwei, Guidus Peace Blaze. The artistry that took months to design and install has been eliminated. The visual transformation from neon wonderland to digital mediocrity represents the death of Vegas's artistic soul. Corporate art executives chose programmable efficiency and handcrafted magic, destroying the very atmosphere that made Las Vegas globally iconic. What once required months of artistic collaboration and skilled craftsmanship has been replaced by mass-produced digital content that could exist anywhere in the world. Interior design has suffered similar standardization as properties import mass-produced luxury that could exist anywhere. Hand-painted murals were replaced by printed graphics. Custom furniture gave way to bulk hospitality purchases. The attention to detail that made every casino feel like a movie set has been eliminated. The themed environments that once defined Strip properties have been gutted by corporate rebranding that eliminates anything unique or potentially controversial. Caesar's Palace still has Roman statues, but the elaborate storylines and immersive experiences have been simplified into generic luxury hotel aesthetics. Even the famous Vegas shows have lost their creative edge as corporate entertainment divisions prioritize proven brands over original content. Cirque du Soleil performances have replaced quirky local acts. Celebrity impersonators perform in identical showrooms with standardized production values. And if the Strip itself no longer feels magical, the final betrayal explains why so many say this of Las Vegas has completely died. Number 1, the promise of cheap fun died. This is the ultimate betrayal that killed the Vegas millions of people loved. For decades, Las Vegas promised that anyone could live like a millionaire for $20. Teachers could afford the same hotels as executives. Mechanics could eat at celebrity chef restaurants. Factory workers could see world-class entertainment. That democratic promise has been systematically destroyed. Executives who discovered they could extract more revenue by serving fewer customers at higher prices. The fun that made Vegas accessible to everyone has been replaced by luxury pricing that excludes the very families who built Sin City. The death of affordable Vegas represents the unraveled version of the American dream many families once believed in. Corporate executives chose short-term profit extraction over the democratic ideals. Vegas, a symbol of possibility for working families. The promise that anyone could afford to feel special has been replaced by economic segregation that betrays everything Vegas once represented to ordinary Americans seeking extraordinary experiences. The mathematics are brutal and undeniable. A week that once cost $200 now requires $800 before gambling a single penny. Hotel rates that advertised affordability hide mandatory fees that double costs. Meals that once fed families now demand individual premium budgets. The psychological damage extends beyond individual disappointment. Vegas broke faith with an entire generation that grew up believing the city would always welcome them regardless of their economic status. Parents in Vegas can no longer afford to show their children where they fell in love. The replacement customer base consists of wealthy tourists who can absorb inflated prices without affecting their lifestyle choices. But these visitors lack emotional investment in Vegas culture and tradition. They view the city as an expensive amenity rather than a special destination worth preserving. The Vegas you loved hasn't vanished in